Now, I do have a debut album, actually, and that is the debut of a legend, and that is Whitney Houston's debut album. I'll never forget how I first heard of Whitney Houston. I was in a tent. I was camping with my mother, and I was listening to my portable DVD player, and The Simpsons DVD was inside, and they were doing the episode To the Bodyguard, a spoof, that is, and they were playing the song, and I was like, who is that? My mom told me it was Whitney Houston. I just sat there and just listened, and I was just like, this lady is an amazing singer. She has a very, very powerful voice. And my father would say, oh yes, son, she was very well known for her voice. And it's scary because when I first heard of her, she was still alive at the time. You know, despite bad reports of her drug addictions and her relationship and marriage to Bobby, that does nothing to stop the great impact she had on music. She had a great impact on music, and I just felt like I'm going to get this album to have a piece of music history. And this is Music History, Whitney Houston's first album. Now, this album was recommended to me by my father. Sorry about that. And I've never heard of this album until my dad was there. It was released in 1982, and this album is called Love Over Gold. Never heard of this album before. Well, let's just see what happens. My grandmother always said, have an open mind. Doesn't hurt to be open-minded, so let's see how it goes. And you know what? I'm thinking of doing a review about this. Once I hear it, I'll do a review about it after I do my review for Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA. Now we've come to classics. We were talking about anniversaries. Well, this year is 2018, and this album was released in 1968, so that was exactly 50 years ago when this album, Waiting for the Sun by The Doors, was released, and it became their first and only #1 chart-topping album. It was to be their third album, and, well, at this time, and pretty much by the end of the 60s, and during this time, Jim's alcohol use was getting out of control. A little bit too much. Just 1 year after this album was released, he was arrested for the infamous Miami concert. But that still couldn't tarnish the legacy that this album leaves behind. And it features the song Hello, I Love You, and it even features a poem or a story in here written by Jim, Celebration of the Lizard. And it's right here, all in this album, believe it or not. And that's what I find pretty cool, so one of these days, I'm not sure. Should I read it out loud? Should I not? In other words, that was my entire record haul collection. If you want to see part 1, you can click on the link below. It'll take you straight there, as well as my review for the movie A Quiet Place. Enjoy. See you guys next time. Mr. Blues here for you.